All right, I'm back again. I was just going through some stuff and looking through a few things and everything. And so I found something interesting out. First, this is just European market and everything. It just for August. So Star Wars Outlaw, which came out, mind you, this came out on the 30th. This means it had Friday and Saturday of the 30th and 31st of August to get this high. So in 2 days, it was number two in sales. I might Grand Theft Auto 5 was number one again. But yeah, so this is just was released yesterday. Number two, Star Wars Outlaw. This is just the European market and everything. But yeah, so people claim the show the I can't. This one wasn't surprising. People claim Star Wars Outlaw did poorly. It was number two on the market. Now, this is another thing I found when I was just looking and reading stuff, just to update this information. Total digital sales. Again, this is just for the European market. 75% of total digital sales was sorry, total game sales. 75% of total game sales was done online. So digital copy. That means if the let me see if I can find it again. If this number is true, let's see if whatever one's coming. If this number is true, that means not. If this number is not, why is it pulling up? Uh, what you got? I'm trying to find news. If this number is true, that means you have to time it by four right here. If the estimate is around this number, that means you have to time this by four. Because again, this is not. You have to time it by four, then you have to double it. So you probably have to time it by eight or whatever. But this again, this is not total sales. This is total digital sales here for the European market. This is what I found here is total digital sales for the European market. I want to do that. This is total digital sales for the European market, right? So this being number one on total digital and physical sales. This being number two for having 800,000 for just the total physical sale. This is the estimate for the total physical sale because it's a hard roll. This was done by analyzed by hard rolls. But this is just digital sale for the Xbox, Series X, S, and PlayStation 5. This is not all of the soul sales. So if this came out to this much, and 75% of uh 75% of purchases in last month was uh done by digital rather than physical. Also, this is kind of funny. This reminded me what happened. People were so upset about um them switching to digital copies and making PlayStation and everything more digital. And if you look at people computers now, they don't have disk drives anymore, and they have no problem with that. So PlayStation not having disk drives on their system, that wouldn't be a problem as well. But again, and I bought a disc copy because I felt the same way at the time. Also because I wanted to also, in case stuff happen, power go out, or you can't connect to the internet, you can still play your games. That's the only reason why I got this copy. I didn't really care about the digital, you know, flip it off the digital. So let's do some math. Uh, Calculator. Uh, I'm gonna do it on here. So since it's 800,000, since it's 800,000 times four, so that's not bad. So it could have, like, it's actually still fall into what I was saying. It said it could have, like I said before, it could have sold uh, between 1 to 4 million units within 2 days, which is the other correction I need to make. This number is not 2 days. This number is literally just one day. So this is about the number they say so in 1 day time frame. So it's not the full day because you gotta understand time zone, everything. When there's two ways they could do it. They could try to release every single place act as at midnight for every single place, or they can just release it all at once at when things flip over to midnight at the latest time zone, which would be flipping over to midnight uh, the next day for a lot of places. So it's easier and less hassle to for them to just um, have it sent out and have it access to it for everybody on the exact same day. So if it's released on the 30th in the furthest places, that means on the 31st in the like literally an hour across from them. On the 31st is when it'll be released to them. So you have to go. Okay, so from the 31st of that time zone, everything. It's basically just trying to get it all done in order to where everybody get the games close to the exact same time. It's better for them than to do it like every single time zone. This is when you release a game. If they tried to do that before, it caused so much hassle. But yeah, um, so this is just 1 day of sales. I mean, in 1 day it could have sold this much, but I am standing out saying in 1 week that's what it sold in a week, and that is like people saying, oh, it's flopping and everything. Again, I always go to Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade sold say they sold 1 million within 24 hours. Found out that was a lie. They sold 1 million within 2 months. Um, but while I'm at, oh let's look at see if there's any. Oh yeah, that's still bad. Yeah, that's still bad. Yes, it'll be alarming if in other places and everything, Astro Bot is not selling well. If it sold this much in Japan, and same thing happened with Stellar Blade when it first came out, it's not selling well. So just because people are saying sell well doesn't mean sell well. I'm trying to see if there's an update. There's also the software sales. Oh no, just, just for the game after. But yeah, it's not selling well. But yeah, so again, like I keep saying, we, before you say the game is sell bad, you have to do two things. You have to look at the estimated number, and you have to see if that line up with the actual number by seeing what it was for each day or whatever. Then you have to take that and you have to find out the difference. If this is hardware sales or hard copy sales, then you have to find out what's the the digital sale amount. What is the amount of digital versus hard copy sales? And it we found out that it just in the UK it's around 7%. And if it's 7%, around 7% in UK, let's say it's the same way for everywhere. If that's the case, that means it's roughly 70% everywhere, which means yeah, digital copies of games is the majority of games that are sold. So if this is just hardware sales right here, this is just hard copies, and it was this much on just two of the systems. Mind you, this is two of the four ways you could have bought the game. You could have bought it on PlayStation, Xbox. You could bought it on PC for hard copies and everything as well. Which this doesn't add in hard copies for PC. You could also bought it on was it GeForce now? I think. Let me double check. GeForce was. Let's see. Yeah, GeForce now. So these are the four ways you could have bought it. And they only have it the first two. They don't have the all of the ways that you could have bought the system. So they only have two. Mind you, the two probably the larger amount. It could be this and that. I mean, the digital copies could be also on the other two then because Windows could be is also Steam. So, but this is just like I said, this is just hard copy. Time that by 4, and this is what you get. And I'm saying this around this is just for the first week. That could be just for the first week of sale. We don't know what the actual total amount is, but we know that we have estimated to say it's sold 800,000 within 2 days or one day, depending on how it goes. Now, if you saying, what about the early release and everything? Okay, it came out. It has some early access for 3 days before the actual sale come out. You can say that early access could have been what amount? It doesn't really matter because the Go and Ultimate editions were not the main source or the main sale. Even if that could have been 10%. Okay, 10%. Take 10% of this. That yeah. Um let's take 10% off. It's still 72. And times this by 4. You still get over almost 3,000. That's still almost 3,000. So again, this is why I said um it's sold between 1 and 4,000. All the numbers showing that it's so incredibly high. And this is also why I said it's sold between one and this is another reason why I say it's sold between 1 and 4,000 within a week instead of just 2 days. If you want to use the early access, just take 10% off, but still sell between 1 and 4,000 in those 2 days. Again, hard copy versus digital copies is 4 times. Digital copy is 75%, so 3 times, or a fourth of total sales is hard copy now. So even if you want to take off, say, the Gold and Ultimate Edition, just take off 10% because the majority of the game uh, is not going to be Gold and Ultimate Edition. It's just going to be the standard. And I think the Ultimate Edition still for sale. I don't think the Gold is. One of the two, it might be still for sale, but I think it's just the Ultimate. And again, math wise, it's still selling between $1 and $4. Got to do it with the total amount, or you can take off the Ultimate Edition and still Gold and Ultimate Edition still selling that much. Yeah. So people are like, "Oh no, it didn't sell well." If it didn't sell up to an investor or their standard, remember, their standard is basically what is the highest it can sell within a set amount of time. They don't care if it sold 1 million copies within a day or if it sold 4 million copies within it. If the highest they say it can sell within the first 2 days or the first, with the highest they say it can sell by the end of the end of the fiscal year or the full year of the game is 7. I mean, it's so about half of that within the first month. So if they think it's gonna sell 7 million or 7 to 8 million, okay, half of 7 to 8 million is 4 million. Or yeah, half of 7 to 8 million is 3.5 to 4 million, which is about this. Yeah, and if they think it's so lower, okay, so it's so around this for the first month, maybe we don't know yet. If that's what they think it is, so if they say think it's so this around the first month, we don't know yet. But again, this is if it's so this in the first month, I mean it's sold more than Stellar Blade in the first month. Because again, Stellar Blade sold 1 million after 2 months. We don't know exact numbers yet, but we have an estimates going based off certain things. You know, people are estimating what they have 7%, 7%, like like I show you. And for the people who say, "Oh no, the game is a flop," please show me the data. Don't just show me people saying it's a flop. Show me the actual data, because while these are estimates from people who probably have the data to back it up. They should. But again, by the end of August, remember, released on August the 3rd, had early access on August the 27th. So even if you say even if the well, first of all, when I looked it up, the majority that was sold was the standard edition, not gold and ultimate. But even if you say the gold and ultimate was the highest selling, that just flip the numbers around. It doesn't really change anything. So it's still this is a still number of units sold on PlayStation and Xbox for those 2 days. Even if you want to give up to the 27th, that doesn't change anything. For now, it's just for instead of those 2 days, it's those 5 days. So it's still sold this amount in 5 days. So again, you can try to finagle it all you want. Also, the again this number for it's been if you're gonna go with the 27 is today will be a full month because last month the 31st. Well, no, well, yeah, no, 2 days ago would be. Well, however, it's been over a full month, and the best estimate we got is this is the best around the lowest we can say it's sold. So So again, like I said, between 1 and 4 million. Now the correction I had to make was I said it sold that in 2 days from what we get it, it's so that maybe in one day you could, and or you could say it's so that from with the earlier copies and from the 27th. Either way, it's still within a set number. It doesn't matter which one you talk about. It sold that number, sold $800 within 5 days, or sold it in 2 days. Still $800. Astro Boy is not selling well in Japan. And again, like I said before, you take the Japan number and you time that by 10. That's what happened with Stellar Blade. But you bumped it up a little and then timed it by 10. So that's how I got around. It's gonna sell like one. I say it was gonna sell like 1 million within a month, and find out that number was over what they actually did because it sold 1 million within 2 months. So that did poorly as well. But anyway, yeah, Star Wars Outlaw was number two. Um, I don't have it doesn't have anything for this month. Astro Boy and everything haven't been posted where that fell. But Star Wars Outlaw actually did pretty well. It wasn't bad, it wasn't the best, but it did pretty well on sales, even though it fell short of the investor estimate. But it still did pretty well. Anyway, later. Oh, all right, go. Put that up so people see. Again, number two. Number two.